So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing. And in this video I'm going to be talking about the blockbuster main event card which is taking place this Saturday the 1st of November in Manchester, which sees Joshua Buatsi and Zach Parker headline this event. So as always guys, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, help us grow this channel even more. If you've already subscribed, thank you. Now, as I mentioned at the start, this card is set to take place in Manchester, and it sees the pair Buatsi and Parker headline and meet in the ring for the first time as light heavyweights. Now, I assured that both of these guys would have done some sort of sparring, or they pretty much would have known each other as game plan pretty much quite well in terms of each other, because obviously they're both British, both light heavyweights, and they would have at least done some sort of rounds in the past. But from my knowledge, this is the first time they're meeting against each other. Now, before I give you my thoughts in regards to who I believe is going to win this fight on the weekend, I'm just going to go through the undercard now. There's some decent names on this undercard, some fighters, up and comers as well. Now, a few people that are standouts who most of you guys should know fight are people like Liam Cameron. Not long ago fought against Ben Whittaker. He's back in action against a guy called Troy Jones. Now, I don't know Troy Jones. I have never seen him fight, but that is his opponent on the weekend as well. So hopefully Liam Cameron could get the win and continue to progress. I like Liam Cameron. I think he's got a lot to offer. But I think this fight, he needs to probably go out there and show us something special, because of his last performance against Whittaker. Wasn't a particularly good performance, especially after the first fight. So it'd be good for him to go out there, put a little statement out there to say, you know what, I'm still one of the main men in this division in Britain. And I've got a lot to offer, and I want some big potential fights in the future. Now, we've also got a guy on the card as well called Bradley Ray. He's taking on Lyndon Arthur. Now, Bradley Ray is a young light heavyweight, but he's got some good pedigree behind him. I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe he is the European light heavyweight champion currently. Don't quote me on that. Just going to have a look on BoxRec. But Bradley Ray, as I said, young, up and coming. Is taking on more of the veteran in terms of Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon Arthur's been around. He's fought against the who's in the light heavyweight division. His last fight against Anthony Yarde was more competitive than what I thought it was going to be, and he did some good work against Anthony Yarde. He let his hands go, caught him quite a few times, but showed good durability as well. And that fight itself went the distance, and he lost on points unanimously. But it was a better performance from the second fight that he had with Anthony Yarde. But as I said, I haven't seen Bradley Ray fight quite a bit. I've seen a couple of snippets, but if I have to go with someone to win this fight, I am going to probably go with Bradley Ray. Reason being is that I think Lyndon Arthur's probably hit his ceiling point now. I believe that he's probably on the way down in terms of the division. As I said, he done some good work against Anthony Yarde when he was last out, but I just don't know if that's going to be enough. I don't know if he's got much more to offer. And it's crazy because I like Lyndon Arthur. He's one of my favourite fighters to watch because he's all exciting. You don't know whether or not he's going to do the knocking out or get knocked out himself. So yeah, good pedigree, Lyndon Arthur. Good fight for Bradley Ray. This fight will show us what both men has got left and where pretty much Bradley Ray could go as well. Because if he beats Lyndon Arthur, that's a massive name on his record, and then he could hopefully continue to climb the rankings. Now, the main event light heavyweight fight between Joshua Buatsi and Zach Parker is set to be an interesting one, just because of where both guys are currently in terms of their career. Joshua Buatsi losing against Callum Smith in his last fight, which was a unanimous decision loss. And in terms of Zach Parker, he won his last fight against Mikel Diallo. Never heard of that guy, but he beat him. Yeah, yeah, so it is what it is. But anyhow, for those that don't know who Joshua Buatsi is, he's currently 32 years of age. He's had 21 professional bouts in total. This will be his 21st, sorry. And he's got 19 wins, with 13 of those wins come by KO. He's got one loss, which was in his last bout out against Callum Smith. Now, Joshua Buatsi, a lot of pedigree, a lot of amateur experience. Believe he was a gold medalist or silver medalist or something in the games. But he started his career as a professional back in 2017. He's an orthodox boxer, 6'2" and 74.5 inch reach according to BoxRec, and he fights out of London, Croydon in London, and his birthplace was in Ghana as well. But according to BoxRec, they've got him listed down as the second best British fighter today, light heavyweight, and number 7 in the world. That's what they have him listed down as. So yeah, a lot of pedigree for Joshua Buatsi. Probably should have been in much more bigger fights at this stage of his career, considering all the hype that was surrounding him once he turned over as a pro. So yeah, probably should have been a bit more higher up at this stage of his career, I believe. But anyhow, Zach Parker, for those that don't know, Zach Parker is 31 years of age, and this will be his 28th bout as a professional. His record currently got 26 wins, with 18 of those wins coming by KO, and he's got one loss on his record, which was a KO loss, and that came back in 2022 against John Ryder, where he retired in the 4th round. But Zach Parker, again, has got some decent amateur experience, but his main work has pretty much come as a professional. He started his career back in 2015. His KO rate, according to BoxRec, is 69.23. He's 6 foot, according to BoxRec, with a 74-inch reach. And in terms of himself, he's ranked number 4 according to BoxRec in the world, light heavyweight, in Britain, and number 10 in the world according to BoxRec as well. So yeah, good pedigree. Yeah, he's got quite a bit to offer, but the thing with Zach Parker, when I have watched Zach Parker in the past, is that he's got all the physical attributes that you would want in a fighter. He's quite tall, rangy, got a long reach, got a decent jab, but he tries to mix it. When it's probably not his strongest attribute, if you know what I'm trying to say. And what I mean by mixed it, he tries to stand in the pocket and trade with his opponents, and this often leads to him getting cut or hurt in fights. But then he's got the power sometimes to stop these guys in the latter part of fights. So yeah, good pedigree, but if he uses those tactics against Joshua Buatsi, then I think it's going to be all wrong for him. Now, in terms of where both of these guys are ranked in the world rankings, currently Joshua Buatsi ranked number 5 in the Ring magazine, and number 6 in the WBO, and number 5 in the WBC. Whereas Zach Parker, on the other hand, is currently ranked number 3 in the WBO, number 11 in the WBC, number 13 in the WBA and IBF. He's not ranked in the Ring magazine rankings as well. So yeah, a lot on the line. The winner would obviously climb up the rankings or move forward into hopefully bigger fights. The loser won't have to retire, but will have to potentially kind of rebuild to put himself back into that position. Now, as I'm sitting here, I haven't watched any press conferences so far this week, but going on their recent previous fight and going on their ability and where I believe they've got like the potential to maybe win a world title, I am going to probably sit here and say that I believe Joshua Buatsi is probably going to have a little bit too much for Zach Parker. I believe he probably will stop Zach Parker in the latter half of the fight. But I would not be surprised if Joshua Buatsi gets put down, even though Joshua Buatsi is very durable. The reason why I say that is because Zach Parker has got power, and he's got power to stun and hurt a lot of his opponents. And that power, I'm not saying it's going to knock out Joshua Buatsi, but it could certainly hurt him and maybe put him down and make him reshape, rebuild. But yeah, this is my thoughts in regards to the fight on the weekend between Joshua Buatsi and Zach Parker. I'm going with Joshua Buatsi. I believe he's just going to have a little bit too much for Zach Parker, but I wouldn't be surprised if the fight goes the opposite way. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you with me? Do you believe Joshua Buatsi is going to win? And if so, by what method? Is it going to be by a KO, technical stoppage? Is it going to be points? As always, please subscribe and comment. Bless.